Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to another YouTube video. King Draco here, back with another one. Man, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. I see the video topic, and for the past few months, I've been making major changes in my life, drastic changes. I really feel like I've been doing great for the past few years, really elevating my life, going after dreams that I always wanted to do. And as disciplined as I am going to the gym, eating right, working on myself spiritually, mentally, reading, working as much as I can to move up to the next level. There were some things that I really needed to clean up, and it was definitely, this topic we're going to talk about today, and that's male promiscuity. And here in this red pill manosphere community, whatever you want to call it, I always say that. We glorify sleeping with a whole bunch of women. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of dudes do. A lot of dudes glorify sleeping with a whole bunch of women, pulling all the girls. And we developed this since high school, since middle school. Even hell, younger than that. Having a little girlfriend when you're young and growing up, being the guy that gets all the girls and stuff like that. MTV, the rap songs, the movies. We grew up indoctrinated that this is the cool thing to do. This is what walks you into manhood. And truth be told, all of that means nothing. It's nothing but fleshly desires that last for moments. And this is the side of the game that a lot of guys don't talk about. And I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to be the one that talks about this situation, because you guys think that there's no harm being done when you engaging in these type of lifestyles, right? When in fact it's the same reason why you complaining about the women y'all speak about. You understand what I'm saying? See, women just follow suit to what men do. It's because we give them the okay to be hoes or quote unquote promiscuous women and stuff like that. We give them the okay by laying in bed with them. Jumping in their DMs, asking for their OnlyFans and shit like that. We're the ones being responsible, and when women feel it's okay to do this shit because men is making it okay for it, they drawing that lane for it, and shit, they gonna do it. They always done. They always wanted to do what we do, especially on this side of the world, Western countries. Like, they're always gonna follow suit to what we do and find a way to be able to do it. We don't have the same luxury as other countries where there's a lane for men and there's a lane for women. That doesn't happen over here. I believe that if we stand up and make change and we hold ourselves responsible in these areas, that there's a lot of great things that could come to life. I truly believe that making a covenant, waiting till marriage is the best way to go. And statistically, it shows that. But I want to talk about the side of the game that nobody really talks about. The 10 cons to being a player, fuckboy, whoremonger, just want to sleep around. I really wanted to bring this up. So let's get into the 10 major cons of being a player. All right, number one is either you cold or you just ignorant to morality. So you just, pretty much moving around ignorantly. You don't feel anything, you don't care. You feel okay, you feel fine about the things you're doing, sleeping around and stuff like that. But, the world doesn't know you understand it when it comes down to your ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? And I give you an example. Like, you got a dog that was born out in the wild, and all it knows is the wild. And one day it eventually came across a road, and the seats made it asphalt. Obviously, cars are driving on it and stuff like that. And the dog becomes curious as it sees the road, and it runs out on the road and it begins to play. Then the car comes at 70 miles per hour, hits the dog, and the dog dies. It's a little sad state as a person that has outer standing and sees that, but you understand that, hey man, like, you're not gonna win against no car, and the world's not gonna stop for you just because you didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way it works in being a promiscuous male. You got STDs, you got guys that'll kill you and stuff like that out here. And you going out indulging in this lifestyle and stuff like that, you being ignorant to it doesn't mean it's going to give you grace. And then you got the other side where it's you being cold. Like, you understand the dynamics of living this lifestyle. You understand what comes with it, but you just don't give a damn. And that was me personally, because I knew all would come with this when I got myself into this, right? I used to grow up in church. I went Wednesday, Sunday. I always went to youth camp. I always went to Bible study. Would go to Bible studies at school. I was always into all that stuff. And in doing that, man, as I got older, it kind of swayed away. And as I swayed away, I wanted to do my own thing. And having all that understanding about this sin, about this, mind frame of going around sleeping with a whole bunch of women, I knew what I was getting myself into. And I would have to ignore that feeling day in, day out, as, I would indulge in that. And, you just gotta be real cold. But the problem with being cold is, just like ignorance, it bleeds into other aspects in your life. You understand what I'm saying? When you being cold and shit like that, you tend to can't cut it on and off like a switch. Either you doing it or you don't do it. So you're being cold to friends now, family members, people that are trying to help you, or people you're doing business with. You become real cold. Your heart becomes very heavy, and in having a heavy heart, that causes destruction in other aspects of life. You gotta be ignorant and cold. And my point on that being a con is, it's gonna bleed in other aspects of life. Ignorance bleeds in other aspects of life, and so does being cold. So yeah, number 2, waste time. It wastes a lot of time going out, chasing women, sleeping with a whole bunch of women. That shit wastes a whole bunch of fucking time. It really does. Just having the time to go out to the club, go chase the girl, having the time to swipe left or right on Tinder all the time, getting these message dialects written down and written out, going out meeting the girl, setting it up, you know what I mean? All that shit take time. And time is something you'll never get back. And you gotta think about the time that you're using, and you gotta use it wisely. You understand what I'm saying? All that time you spending out chasing women, you can spend time, pursuing your purpose, praying to God, going and hanging around family, hanging around friends, because this life ain't promised. You know what I mean? You never know the day or the hour. And going out and just chasing a whole bunch of women, I noticed for me personally, like, it would always, bleed into my income, the amount of income I would make. Every time I was just going out chasing a whole bunch of women, my income was kind of iffy, but every time I chased income, women would chase me. So it's kind of a funny dialect, but it's kind of a funny frame how that works, but that's how it usually is. So you want to really take the time to figure out how to use your time wisely. Let me tell you that chasing women, sleeping with women, even getting in relationships, I wanna see where it goes type of things. You know what I'm saying? Friends with benefits, it's all wasting time. When you don't sit down and have the conversation like, hey, I wanna go somewhere with this. You know what I mean? Like, I wanna take this to marriage, then it's a waste of time. And let me tell you why it's a waste of time, especially relationships. And I'm talking about girlfriend, boyfriend shit. Like, when y'all don't really know whether y'all gonna get married or not, or gonna be together or not, and you reaping the benefits of what it is, to have a marriage, sleeping together, living together, whatever the case may be. When y'all split, right, you may end up damaging the other person when they have to go to the real spouse. And they're dealing with baggage and past hurt. And that next person is having to deal with that because of the damage you may have done. And it may have not even have been intentionally. It's just the way people feel sometimes. You know what I mean? And sometimes, people get damaged so badly that they don't even come back from it. You play that risk when you're involving yourself in these relationships. You're involving yourself in these friends with benefits. When you're involving yourself in these whole phases. Just sleeping around with a whole bunch of women. It may be that one woman that just gets your ass. You know what I mean? She break your heart. And now you treating all other women like shit. You know what I mean? And then in doing that, you wasting even more time, because as you get older, you realize that life ain't all about you. You know, having a family is one of them. It's ingrained in you. You know, to procreate, have a family, protect them, and provide for them. Number 3, you cause chain reaction destructiveness. I like that, chain reaction destructiveness. But you cause chain reaction destructiveness, and to make it simple, the decisions that you make, right? Everything that you do, when you stomp your foot on the ground, right? That's a cause. And the effect is it creates a vibration. Maybe the person below me can hear my foot tap, you know, or they can feel my foot tap as they're sleeping or in anything. And that's what happens in everything that you do. You touch something, you know, the effect is you leave heat on whatever it is that you touch. And when you steal something from somebody, that person may go out and seek you, call the police on you, go out and hurt you. That was the effect, or you making that cause of stealing a t-shirt. And when everything that you do when you sleeping with a woman, you're saying, I want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to really be in marriage. You don't want to make a covenant. You don't want to tie the knot. When you do these things, some of the destructiveness you don't even see. Like, for example, when they get together, and y'all together, y'all in a relationship, and then y'all end up leaving, breaking up. She dealing with somebody, and I kind of hit it on it earlier in the video. She with somebody else, and you know, she treating that man just like she used to treat you. And now that man want her to do something that's, you know, probably against the things that you had her doing at that time, and she began to rebel against him. You know what I mean? And when you understand this, you have a realization is this, you ask yourself the question, man, do I really want to enter this relationship with this woman? You know, because let's be honest, guys, a lot of us know we really want to take a woman seriously in a short amount of time. In a short amount of time, it really doesn't, it's not that hard for you to see. People saying it takes years, 2 years, 3 years, those are myths. It really don't take that damn long. It don't take that long at all. It takes months. Even if that at times, you know, back in time, you know, people were getting married within a week and stuff like that. And, you know, there was no high divorce rate at that time. You know, it was hard to split apart at that time. So those people were making it work. You know, maybe we got something backwards, right? Do these things happen to the woman, but it can happen to you as well. Maybe she hurt you, maybe she break your heart. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all sleeping together and y'all intertwined in spirits. You know what I'm saying? And she got baggage, and now you got baggage within yourself. You know, now you walking through our life. Why all these bad things happening to me? Like, why all this bullshit happening? And you know, you never really asked the question, man. You know, what was this woman into? You know, was she into voodoo? Was she, you know, she had prayer gods or something like that? Some type of gods these people end up following and stuff like that. You know, and all these things, you know, can end up damaging your lifestyle, damaging your life as you continue to move on and stuff like that. Number 4, STDs. This one hits me home because I know somebody that's died of an STD. That was very dear to me. And, you know, that really woke me up to the way I was living my lifestyle. It was one of the things that really woke me up. And it made me slow down. Like, I cut my whole prospects down to 1. That's what did it for me. But in that happening, like, it makes you wake up and realize that it only takes one time for, you know, you to get a fuck up, you to get in a situation. You see, let's keep it real, man. A lot of us don't like wrapping that shit up. A lot of girls don't like that shit either. You know, they just whatever, like go in raw dog, get in, you know, feels better that way. And, you know, in you doing that, you know, you open up the chance for you to, catch one. Chlamydia, what is it? Gonorrhea, HIV, AIDS, you know what I mean? And all it takes is one time, you know what I'm saying, for you to get in that type of situation. You know, you sleeping with dusties and sleeping with women that don't clean themselves. You not cleaning your damn self. You just sleeping with whoever and whatever. And, now you come back, you got something, you got to deal with that for the rest of your life. You got to take medicine for the rest of your life to keep that under control. STDs is not one of those things that you want to have in yourself, within your life. And there's a reason why STDs is going on. But see, you never really see STDs going on with marriage. People that's covenant together, that's sticking together, and they're going on their word together, staying together, being faithful to one another. You never really hear about that. So, hey man, it's one of those things. It's part of the game, and you don't want to have yourself within that. Number 5, you can get yourself in some big ass trouble. You can get yourself in some big ass trouble. For real. Guys, sometimes these girls don't tell you who they dealing with. Sometimes these girls are crazy as hell. Sometimes, you can get yourself in some situations. You can have a girl keying up your car while you sleep. You can have a girl beating on your damn door with niggas ready to rob you and shit. My boy, he actually used to live in this apartment complex. He had to call the police. He had a chick, and his old lady came fucking with his shit. Not to put too much of the business out there, but you know what I mean. Like you can get yourself in some dire situation. I remember I was talking to this brother at this hotel I was at. It was when I came out here for vacation, and he was telling me about how his girl was cheating on him, and he caught the dude outside and shit like that. He was like, yeah, I was gonna call my boy to come pull up on him and, shake him down. And I'm like, over a girl? But see, what you have to understand and realize, there's understanding, but then there's also understanding when you see the whole picture. Not everybody gotta have that same understanding that you have, what they like. Not everybody have that understanding that, a woman, these type of women's gonna be that type of women. Or the bitch gonna be the bitch type thing. Not everybody has that understanding. Some people gonna kill over that. Some people gonna kill over their little situation that they got going on. Some people even hurt people over little flings that they got. They're just crazy like that. And this all comes from just sleeping around willy-nilly. Not correctly vetting the person that you with, figuring out who they are, what they do, who they dealing with, how many guys are they talking to at once? You know what I mean? How serious are they? Are they sleeping with them? That ends up happening because you're not correctly vetting and courting the woman that you with. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not a situation you want to be in where you lose your life or you end up going to jail or some shit because a girl fucked up your shit and you lost your shit and you had to go fuck her up. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's one of those things that that's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. Number 6 is you become very numb to bonding, being able to pair bond. So when you sleeping around with a whole bunch of women, as that's why it kind of got old for me. When you sleeping around with a lot of women, the shits, you don't feel that bond you used to feel as the time you would flirt, sleep with a woman, right? And sometimes, this will happen when you're sleeping with a woman the first time. You're like, man, I ain't really like her like that after you hit it. As you continuously do that, the bond you can create with another person by having sex with them, spiritually intermingling with one another and becoming one, you begin to cut that bond off as you continuously do it. And the issue with that is, how when you're young, you grow up with a brother or sister, your mother or father, and you can be able to feel whether they're going through something. Like you ever not even looked at your sister and you just, you knew something was going on with them. You know what I'm saying? They could be even 1,000 miles away. Like you knew something was going on with them. Like, man, damn, I need to call my sister. You call them, they're going through something. that's that same bond you should be able to have with somebody that you're saying I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're able to have that bond, it makes the relationship a lot better. It makes the relationship a lot stronger, last longer, and stuff like that. A lot of us needed this from our fathers and mothers that when we were kids and stuff like that. So when you begin to eliminate that pair bonding, you know what I mean, you become, like I said in the beginning of the video, you become cold in some sorts, cold in some ways. You're not able to see the things that she's going through and stuff like that. Y'all not able to really connect, you know what I mean? You're not really able to tell whether there's something's off about her and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's good to keep that pair bond feeling with you. You know, the way to keep that pair bond is abstinence, man. Keep it to yourself, prayer, you know, asking God to give you that back. So number 7, kind of being a player. You see all women the same, all of them. I don't care how good she is, how good she claims to be, how good you may even see her. Like when you really a player in this shit, you really believe like, you know, they all the same. Like you keep that as Kodak in the back of your head. You know what I'm saying? You keep it as Kodak. And there's good aspects to this. I won't even lie to you. There's good aspects to it, but there's cons to having that type of mindset too. You understand? Sometimes you block your blessings. Sometimes, you know, you miss out on, you know, something that could be really good for you, good to you. You understand what I'm saying? By having that mindset. And, you know, I've definitely done this. You know, I know a lot of guys that's definitely done this as well. Having this mindset, you really end up hurting, you know, sometimes good women that can walk across you. You know what I'm saying? And you bring them into your life, you end up hurting them. You know, by having that mindset, because you don't fully trust them. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to surround yourself with people that you don't trust. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be hanging around people that you don't trust like that. You know, all it's gonna do is bring tension between you and that person. You know what I mean? And it could cause, you know, later destruction. You know what I mean? They can end up, you know, picking up off the feelings that you feel and having that same mindset. You know what I mean? So, you know, having that mindset of all these bitches the same, all these hoes the same, all these women the same, it can become, you know, destructive in a lot of senses. Number 8, cons to being a player in the game is, shit, you can have kids, unwanted pregnancies, abortions, all that. Like, that come with doing this shit. Sleeping around. Like, what is sex for? It's to procreate. Have children, have families. You understand? So when you going out, you having these one-night stands, or you got your girlfriend, or you got your friend with benefits, and you slip up, you know, the condom break, you know, the pill wasn't working correctly. You know what I mean? And say the pill wasn't working correctly, she birthed a child to a child that ain't really all that healthy. You know, got heart problems, mind problems. You know what I mean? Y'all have an unwanted pregnancy and y'all young. You know, we see this all the time, teen pregnancies, the pimp with 15 kids and not really there in their life. Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was his home. You know, that's all destruction, because we know definitely in our community we need our fathers. A lot of our fathers aren't there in our lives. You know, that's a great reason for men to go out in the streets. You know, we got boys looking up to the gangsters now. You know what I mean? Just by doing that. Or you say, it could be this, you could have a dream. You know what I'm saying? You end up having a child, and now you gotta work, you gotta go to UPS, you gotta go to FedEx, Walmart, whatever you gotta do to provide for their child. You working endless hours, and you don't really got the time to follow that dream no more. Just by one mistake. All it takes is one. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and by the grace of God, you know, you maybe get out of it. But you know what I mean? That's definitely a big thing, a part of this game that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Like, you can end up slipping up. You know, it could be you. Yeah, you. 9, you missed the opportunity to build a family. You missed the opportunity to do what you designed to do. You know, unless you called by God or you a monk, just like Jesus was, well, nobody really knows that truth. But anyway, you know what I mean? We are called to have a family one day. Life isn't all about us. I said life isn't all about what we want to do and how we want to live our lives, but it's about positivity affecting the community and our families. You understand what I'm saying? And when you out being a player, when you say you finna lock in and be on this player shit, you don't really got time for no family like that. Being a player is about doing what's for self. You understand what I'm saying? Being a player is about doing what's for you at all times. And you ain't got time really to mend a family and grow a family like that. You know what I'm saying? And as you get older, you may get to yourself like, damn, like I lived all this life, I've gotten all these things, but I got nobody to share it with. And I got people that don't really care about that. You know what I mean? You may not even care about it 10, 15, 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? But family is something you always gonna care about, seeing your direct reflection grow up and do great things out in life and in communities. Like you will live life being proud of that. You know what I mean? That's one of those things where, I really had to sit down with myself and ask myself, do I really want to live this life like this? Because I myself would love to have a family, to love to be, in a covenant with a woman, being with.
I'll finish off this video because damn camera, only you can record for so long, but I'm gonna get this shit figured out, I promise. But anyway, I'm gonna delve into more, it's been like that since the Good Book. When Adam was out here by himself, eventually God gave him Eve, right? And he told him to procreate. He didn't want Adam all by himself. And he's like, hey, have a family. Give the family rules, standards. Give them, guidelines, regulations that they can follow. Give them my law, give them God's law. And, affect the community in a positive way, in a positive manner. And when you live in this player lifestyle, you don't ever get to live that. You think about all the pimps, all the dudes that's out here slanging dick, the bachelors and stuff like that. They don't ever get to really experience that. Building up a family. They out here playing. We out here playing. And when I think about people that don't, desire to have these families and stuff like that, and it's just my personal observation, you got a lot of people that's like that, want to commit suicide, buying pets to entertain themselves, they can't be by themselves. It's one of those things that, you can't deny that it's ingrained in our DNA to have, a family. It really is. It truly is. It's just truly ingrained in us. And there's a good number of you that truly desire to have kids in a family one day. And, living that lifestyle, that shit ain't gonna work, man. Because living this lifestyle, like, you can make a mistake and not come back from that. And making a mistake and not come back from that, they could potentially, interrupt, building that family that you always wanted. So it's another thing to really consider. Do you want to do that? And number 10 is, where you put your soul? Karma. Yeah, whether you believe in that shit or not, that shit gonna believe in you. I tell people that all the time. Whether you believe in that shit or not, it's always gonna believe in you. Everything you do in this life, it always gonna come back around to you. Every good that you do, me, look at me. I used to be real skinny, started working out, and I ain't seen no changes in, a month or two. But in about 6 months to a year, shit, my whole body changed. People looked at me different. You know what I'm saying? And that's how karma works. And when you out here doing drugs and stuff like that, 2-3 months later, your damn mind gone, you're skinny now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put in this life is, what you gonna get out. And when you putting in this life on this player shit, you just sleeping around with women. You know what I'm saying? Everything, and it's on the list that I gave, the STDs, the having unwanted pregnancies, the having the women key your car, tearing your shit up. This is all your karma, man. And sometimes they don't catch you. Like I'm saying, it don't catch you quick. Sometimes that shit catch you later on in life. You understand? You get a woman, she look good at first, and she seem good at first, got a good personality, but in the back of her head, she let her play you. Play you out your money, out your family, You just never really know when your day coming. That's why I always pray to God and ask for forgiveness. And you just gotta pray that, He gives you that. You understand? Cause he might just say, man, nah, I really feel like you ain't really learned. And he give you a lesson. And it's just one of them things, man. But this is a video I've been wanting to make for so long. And, it's gonna be a different type of route that I'm gonna be taking here on this YouTube channel. And I'm just appreciative for everything that I got and everything that I'm about to accomplish and do in my life. And just also, man, just change the direction. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Much love, peace. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Dre out.